Do you feel like you're understanding the basics of type more and more? I'm sure it's starting to click. Let's go over a few additional type characteristics to keep in mind as pro UI designers. When it comes to numerals, there are two approaches to keep in mind: lining and non-lining numerals. Lining numerals have uniform height, enabling the numbers to line up from the top to the bottom lines of the capital letters. Since they are the same height as capital letters, they might appear bulky when appearing in running text. Non-lining numerals, also known as old-style numerals, have ascenders and descenders like lowercase letters. They're proportional and each one has its own set width. Non-lining numerals integrate visually with the text. There are two other versions of numerals: proportional, and often the default one, and the tabular one. It's best to use the tabular one when working with tables and data you need to be able to quickly compare. Here are a couple of commonly abused punctuation marks. Apostrophes signal contraction or possession. Quotation marks set off dialogue. The straight ones are commonly referred to as dumb quotes. They are used as inch marks as well. However, prime marks should actually be used to indicate measuring units. Smart or curly quotes are typographically correct quotation marks. When it comes to quotation marks, use hanging punctuation. It prevents quotations and other marks from taking a bite out of the crisp left edge of the text block. Some designers prefer to have hanging bullets as well, as it keeps the horizontal rhythm of the text. Personally, I don't think it's as a typographic crime as having quotation marks inside of the text block, especially since it does look strange to some people to have bullets that hang. So remember it like this: hanging bullets are a recommendation, even though they are typographically correct, but hanging quotations are a rule. Prime or hatch marks indicate inches and feet. One additional typographic crime I'd love to share is using the same dashes for everything. Most fonts have at least 3 dashes: the hyphen, the n dash, and the m dash. Here's an example of a minus next to a hyphen, the n dash, and the m dash. The m dash is the widest. It is often the most misused one too. It can be used as an indicator of a speaker in a narrative. It can indicate the author of a quote too. It can also be used as a replacement for a comma, as it indicates a longer break to the reader. The n dash is exactly half of the m dash. It should be used to replace the words from and to. Instead of 1 to 2 p.m., we can write 1 to 2 p.m. There should be no spaces on both sides of the dash. It can represent a range between any numerical values. Finally, it can be used to denote a connection or contrast between two words. Hyphen is a symbol that's mistakenly used instead of m and n dashes and the minus symbol. Its width is the quarter of the m dash. It should be used for hyphenating words and for connecting two or more words together. When you're looking at a typeface, don't forget to check parentheses, brackets, braces, and angled brackets in case your project requires them. Currency symbols and ellipses are also good glyphs to check up on. As a designer, you should use correct mathematical punctuation. For particular projects, typefaces that don't support fractions and ordinals might be a deal breaker. It's something that you might not think about at first, but if you're expecting a lot of numbers and data in your design, take a look at your typeface's fractions and ordinal possibilities. Stylistic alternatives and sets are alternative character designs. The most common ones are single-story A or G glyphs, which look different from their two-story counterparts. Typefaces with the ability to switch between the alternatives give designers more options to work with. Registered, trademark, and copyright symbols vary in design from font to font. It is okay to substitute these from another font if the version you're working with is hard to read. Helvetica, Arial, Franklin Gothic versions tend to be very legible versions of these symbols. Dagger is another symbol that can tell you a lot about how a typeface was designed. Regs is an informal term in typography used to describe the uneven margins for vertical columns of type. Usually it's the right margin that's regged, since the most legible way to align the text is left alignment. Widows are very short lines, usually single words, at the end of a paragraph. Orphans are also single words or very short lines appearing at the beginning of a column or a page. Orphans are more common in graphic design, as UI design is rarely using a multi-column layout for text. Thank you so much for following along so far. We're slowly getting ready to move into more practical lessons where we will continuously reference the terms and rules mentioned in this module. So once again, don't worry if you feel like you don't remember everything yet. That was not the point of this module. We're just laying the foundations for all the UI work we'll be doing soon.